There's something disarming about an INFJ's smile. It's gentle, it's patient, it's knowing. You see it and think, they're at peace. But that's the trick, isn't it? Because that smile isn't just an expression. It's a defense mechanism, a disguise, a line between what they feel and what the world can handle. INFJs smile when they're angry. They smile when they're disappointed. They even smile when they're quietly planning to disappear. It's not manipulation, it's control. When emotions run deep and empathy cuts sharp, composure becomes survival. Behind every calm INFJ smile is a mind quietly asking, how much of myself do I have to hide today to make everyone else comfortable? Let's decode that smile. Let's dive right in. All right, first thing first, the mirror of everyone else. INFJs are emotional mirrors. They don't just sense the energy in a room, they become it. Around joy, their smile glows like sunlight. Around sadness, it softens into empathy. Around anger, it steadies into calm control. To every person they meet, they unconsciously offer the reflection that person most needs to see. Their smile adapts, reshapes, and blends, turning into whatever makes others feel safe. It's not performance. It's instinct, empathy, operating at a level so deep, even they can't always turn it off. But here's the hidden cost. When you keep adjusting to everyone else, you start losing track of who you really are. Over time, that adaptive smile becomes a mask that no longer comes off easily. They tell themselves, I'm just being kind. But that kindness quietly erodes their sense of self. Because when every emotion in the room passes through you, it's easy to mistake other people's feelings for your own. This is the paradox of the INFJ smile. It keeps peace while creating quiet chaos inside. They end up carrying emotions that don't belong to them, smiling through energy that isn't theirs, just to maintain the harmony everyone expects. It's a strange kind of identity theft, one that begins with good intentions and ends in self-forgetting. And the world, of course, rewards this. People say, "You're so easy to talk to," or "You always understand me." But few ever notice the silent fatigue that follows. Because when everyone feels seen, the INFJ often feels invisible. That serene smile the world admires is sometimes the very reason they can no longer recognize their own reflection. The viral truth, INFJs aren't mysterious because they hide who they are. They're mysterious because they've been busy mirroring everyone else for so long, they've forgotten where their reflection ends and someone else's begins. And next up, the battle between truth and tact. INFJs are wired for honesty, but they're cursed with empathy. They can see the truth in razor-sharp detail, the hidden motives, the unspoken resentment, the quiet hypocrisy sitting behind someone's words. But instead of confronting it head-on, they often smile. That smile isn't avoidance, it's strategy. It's the visible form of restraint, because they know the truth has weight, and once dropped, it can't be picked back up. They've learned that not every truth is ready to be heard, and not every person wants to be seen clearly. So they bite their tongue, smooth their tone, and let the moment pass. Their smile says, "I understand." But internally, it whispers, "You're not ready." It's not manipulation. It's mercy. They protect others from emotional collapse and themselves from the fallout of saying too much. But there's a hidden cost to this constant editing. Every time they bury a truth to keep the peace, a small piece of authenticity dies. It's a slow erosion, one that replaces honesty with diplomacy, passion with politeness. And while the world praises them for being composed and kind, they're often left feeling hollow, like they traded their voice for temporary calm. This is the moral fatigue no one talks about, the exhaustion that comes from knowing exactly what needs to be said, but swallowing it anyway. Because when you can see people's emotional fragility, telling the truth feels like cruelty. So, the INFJ smiles. They carry the truth in silence, hoping that one day the world will value honesty as much as harmony. And that's the quiet tragedy, behind their calm expression, a constant inner negotiation between the truth they see and the peace they're afraid to break. The viral reality? INFJs don't hide the truth out of fear. They hide it out of compassion. And over time, that compassion becomes the heaviest secret they carry. Third on the list, the smile of secret rebellion. INFJs are often described as gentle, polite, and endlessly patient, and that's true on the surface. But beneath that calm, collected exterior lives a quiet kind of rebellion. Their smile isn't always a sign of agreement. Sometimes it's the mask they wear while silently thinking, "You have no idea how wrong you are." It's the calm before their exit. The moment before they decide to never engage on this level again. When conflict arises, most people fight to be heard. INFJs don't. They withdraw behind that controlled smile and observe. They let others speak, argue, and expose their intentions while they gather data. Not to win the argument, but to understand how to walk away without leaving emotional debris behind. Their rebellion is surgical, not explosive. It doesn't look like rage, it looks like silence. That's what makes it powerful. It's invisible. While others think they've convinced the INFJ or won their compliance, the INFJ is already gone in spirit. They're drafting an exit plan in their mind, a new boundary, a cleaner circle, a quieter life without that particular chaos. Their rebellion happens internally, long before it shows externally. But this hidden defiance isn't bitterness, it's self-respect disguised as serenity. INFJs rebel, not because they crave control, but because they refuse to let toxicity colonize their peace. They'll smile in meetings they mentally left months ago. They'll nod through conversations they've emotionally checked out of. And when they finally go, they won't slam the door. They'll vanish so gracefully that people won't notice until the silence feels too loud. This is what makes the INFJ smile so misunderstood. It's not always agreement. Sometimes it's the calm precision of someone dismantling a situation from the inside. The viral truth? INFJs don't fight the system. They outgrow it, outthink it, and outlast it. Their rebellion isn't loud, it's poetic. It's a smile that says, "You'll understand why I left when I'm already gone." And fourthly, the smile of emotional economy. INFJs feel everything, deeply, intensely, and often all at once. It's both their greatest strength and their greatest burden. To survive, they learn the art of emotional budgeting. Every word, every reaction, every smile is a calculated investment. Because for them, emotions aren't free. They cost energy, focus, and time to recover. So when an INFJ smiles, it's not a random expression of joy. It's often the product of quiet calculation. They've learned the hard way that not everyone deserves unfiltered access to their inner world. The INFJ smile becomes their version of emotional currency. Polite enough to be kind, distant enough to protect. They offer warmth without overcommitting, connection without depletion. It's not coldness, it's conservation. Because when you feel everything, you learn to give carefully or risk burning out completely. They measure relationships like investments. Some people yield emotional profit, mutual understanding, respect, depth. Others drain their reserves without ever giving anything back. Over time, INFJs develop a quiet radar for who is safe and who is not. And their smile becomes the border patrol between their soul and the world's demands. But here's the paradox. This emotional economy makes them look effortless, calm, stable, self-contained. People mistake it for unshakable peace. In truth, it's a delicate balance of self-regulation and restraint. Behind that peaceful smile is someone who's doing complex math just to stay grounded, deciding in real time who gets a piece of their heart and who only gets the surface-level smile. The viral truth? INFJs don't smile because they're emotionless. They smile because they're managing emotional inflation. Every grin, every nod, every "I'm okay" is an act of emotional accounting. They're not saving face. They're saving energy. And that serene smile you see? It's the proof of someone who's learned to feel deeply without letting it destroy them. Fifthly, the smile that outsmarts pity. If there's one thing an INFJ refuses to accept, it's pity. To them, pity feels invasive, like someone peeking into their soul without permission. It turns their pain into a spectacle, their strength into weakness. So when life collapses, when the world gets heavy and emotions cut deep, the INFJ doesn't cry out for help. They smile. Not because they're fine, but because they can't stand to be reduced to a sob story. That calm, composed smile is their armor. Smooth, dignified, unbreakable. It says, I've been through worse, and I'm still here. And even when they're exhausted, even when they're quietly unraveling inside, they wear that same expression to reclaim control over how they're seen. They'd rather be misjudged as cold than pitied as fragile. To them, being strong, or at least appearing strong, is an act of self-respect. What most people don't realize is that INFJs often experience suffering in silence, not because they want isolation, but because they don't trust others to hold their pain gently. They've seen too many people turn compassion into gossip, empathy into performance, so they keep their struggles locked behind that practiced, unwavering smile. It's not about pretending, it's about preserving dignity. But that strength has a cost, because when you hide your wounds too well, no one knows where to look for the scars. The INFJ's refusal to be pitied sometimes traps them in solitude, surrounded by people who admire their strength but never see their need. And yet they'd still choose silence over sympathy, grace over exposure. The viral truth? INFJs don't smile to fake happiness. They smile to protect their story. Pity might make others feel better, but it makes the INFJ feel powerless. So they master the art of composure, transforming their pain into poise. That smile you see isn't denial. It's defiance. The elegant kind that says, "You will not define me by what broke me." Sixthly, the smile that masks spiritual hunger. INFJs crave meaning the way others crave comfort. Surface-level living doesn't satisfy them. They need conversations that stretch beyond the weather, connections that feel like constellations instead of small talk. But in a world built on speed and convenience, that hunger often goes unnoticed. So, they adapt. They laugh when it's appropriate, engage when it's polite, and smile when the silence inside them starts to echo too loudly. That calm, peaceful smile, it's often covering an ache, the ache of a soul starving for something real. INFJs move through the world like deep-sea divers forced to breathe shallow air. They sense beauty in broken things, purpose in pain, patterns in chaos. But when they try to express it, people often dismiss it as too intense. So they hide it behind that soft smile, saving their depth for those rare moments when someone truly listens. It's not that they don't want to connect. It's that they've learned the world doesn't always want to connect deeply. That's the irony. People call them mysterious, but what they really are is undernourished. Their soul longs for something the modern world can't mass produce: meaning. Every time they smile at a party or nod through a conversation that feels hollow, they're quietly asking, is there anyone else who feels this empty pretending? And yet, their spiritual hunger isn't desperation, it's devotion. They believe there's more. More beauty, more truth, more connection worth waiting for. Their smile is the bridge between the mundane and the sacred, a small act of faith that one day they'll meet someone who doesn't just talk but understands. The viral truth? INFJs don't crave attention, they crave alignment. Their smile doesn't say, "I'm content." It says, "I'm searching." It's the look of someone who's learned to appear peaceful while quietly longing for a world that feels like home, not on the outside, but deep within the soul. Seventhly, the smile after the storm. When an INFJ breaks, no one sees it. Their breakdowns don't come with shouting or tears in public. They come in silence, behind closed doors, where no one can witness the chaos. They fall apart privately because even in pain, they're protecting others from their emotional intensity. But once the storm passes, something remarkable happens. They rebuild. And when they step back into the world, they wear that familiar calm smile. It's not the same one they had before. It's quieter, stronger, earned. That smile isn't denial, it's resurrection. It's the mark of someone who's walked through the fire and refused to turn to ash. They don't wait for rescue. They rescue themselves. Piece by piece. Thought by thought. Breath by breath. And when they finally return to daily life, people say things like, "You're so strong," or "You always seem so put together." They don't realize that strength wasn't inherited, it was forged. The INFJ smile after the storm is different because it carries memory. It remembers the nights of overthinking, the mornings of pretending, the quiet victories no one else noticed. It remembers how it felt to break and how it felt to rise anyway. That subtle curve of their lips isn't about pretending everything's okay. It's about declaring, "I made it through again." But beneath that serenity, there's also awareness. They know the storm will come back, that life, people, and empathy will test them again. Still, they face it with grace, because endurance has become part of their identity. Their smile is no longer just armor. It's acceptance. A reminder that healing isn't a single moment. It's a rhythm they've learned to dance to. The viral truth? INFJs don't smile because they're untouched by pain. They smile because they've met it, embraced it, and learned to grow around it. That gentle, knowing expression you see isn't a mask. It's the victory of someone who's learned to rebuild in silence and return with grace. Their smile says, "You didn't see the storm, but you're looking at what survived it." If this video resonated with you, if you saw a part of yourself behind that quiet INFJ smile, take a moment to share your thoughts below. Tell me which part spoke to you the most, or maybe what your own smile hides from the world. And if you'd like to keep exploring the deeper sides of human nature, make sure to like this video and subscribe. It helps more people who feel the same way find their place here. A space for thinkers, feelers, and quiet rebels. Just like you. Your story might be the one that helps someone else feel understood. So, share it. I'll be reading every word, and I see you in the next one.